Hello everyone, my name is Daymi Pelaez and we're going to be going over section FK of the Bcba 4th edition task list on number 9 through 16, which is foundational knowledge. I am going to have a lot of fill in the blanks for you guys. So get your books out, get ready. Then we're gonna move on to the disclaimer. As always, all right, really quickly because I have a lot to go over. The Bcba exam prep study group was created by and for students to earn their Bcba, Bcaba certification. Most of the leaders and participants are not a Bcba or Bcaba at this time. These meetings are meant to have active discussions, collaborations, ask questions, and provide helpful suggestions to better understand the Bcba 4th edition task list concepts. Due to this, it is important to know that all viewers and participants are responsible to verify the accuracy of the information being provided in order to successfully prepare for the Bcba, Bcaba exam. So ethical considerations are, you must refrain from sharing any Bcba, Bcaba test questions during the meeting. Refrain from sharing any paid resources or specific identifiable client information. And if you are sharing any open resources, peer-reviewed articles, or books, please make sure to provide proper credit to the author. Since we are in the field of ABA, we must act in professional and ethical manner at all times. And because of this, we created some exam prep rules to make sure that they go through nice and organized. So please make sure, number one, to mute your mics, and if you're not speaking, in order to allow for everyone to have a clear conversation. Number two, allow the leader and all participants to turn to speak without interruptions. And number three, make sure to be respectful to others and refrain from using any inappropriate language. And number four, have fun. All right. Like always, remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Bcba exam prep study group. And if you have any interest in one-to-ones, feel free to email us at Bcba exam prep study group, Bcba exam prep group @gmail.com. All right, now we're gonna get started. So we're gonna go over, like we did yesterday, the same sections. It's gonna be FK9 through FK16. And since Minerva, she did a great job breaking everything down in lots of details, I'm just gonna ask a lot of questions and I have the answers there. So if you guys, wanna pass or don't know it, don't worry. It's a lot, so we're gonna go through it real quickly. All right, FK9, which is distinguish between the conceptual analysis of behavior, experimental analysis of behavior, applied behavior analysis, and behavioral service delivery. So the first question is, what does the conceptual analysis of behavior look at?
It looks at the basic principles of behaviors of behavior analysis.
Guys, we have a lot of feedback. If we can mute our mics when we're not using.
All right, I muted everyone. Whoever wants to speak, go ahead.
No, I was saying that it looks at the basic principles of behavior analysis.
Okay. Does anybody have anything else?
It's theoretical.
This theoretical?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with Nadia.
Theoretical?
Conceptual issues of behavior, yeah. And you have any concepts of theoretical concepts of behavior.
Okay. Delete that. Theoretical and conceptual issues of behavior. Good job. All right, the next one. Experimental analysis of behavior, EAB, involves laboratory settings with both what? So it's two different terms.
That would be with human and non-human subjects.
Wow. Do you have the BAS in front of you?
No, I've been taking a lot of notes.
Nice job. All right, all this information I took from BAS, so.
Yeah, me too. A lot of them, yeah.
All right, and they're phenomenal, by the way. So applied behavior analysis, ABA, wants to find the functional relation between what? What do they want to find? It's also two different things.
Is it between the
Social
IV?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Between what?
I went up and then went down. Behavior and consequence? No, I'm not sure.
Socially significant behavior?
Okay.
No?
Behavior and
Is it between behavior, IV and DV?
the controlling variables and the socially significant behaviors.
Good job. I was just going to say Minerva was on the right track. Socially significant behavior and controlling variables. Perfect. What's your name? Are you new?
Hi, yes, I'm Vanessa. How are you?
Vanessa, hi, how are you?
Good. Thank you for letting me join.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Behavioral service delivery is when behavior analysts blank, blank, and blank behavior tactics.
Design, implement, and went blank on the last one.
Anybody want to help her?
Evaluate.
Wow, great teamwork. I made this, somewhat easy because last time I did Jeopardy and I broke everybody's brain, so.
And our hearts too.
We're still trying.
All right. For FK10, behavior, response, and response class. What is behavior? Just in your own words. You don't have
Everything people do.
Okay. Anybody else?
Anything that organisms do, yeah.
Okay. The activity of a living organism. So it had both when I was reading it. It had everything people do, but I like this one better because how about what animals do? And
that's right.
Right. So I was like, I'm going to put this one because I think this one's more appropriate. How can you detect behavior? So how can you do that?
With the effects on the environment.
Okay. Perfect. Observing measurable change. So, right, effects on the environment. That's exactly the same thing. Okay, what is a response?
Instance of a behavior.
Perfect. One instance of behavior. And what is a response class?
A group of behaviors that all have some sort of similarity of the function, form, or the
same function, I think.
Perfect. I didn't get into so much detail. You actually gave more, but that's great. That's awesome. So it's a group of behaviors that are similar. And then she went into the details, which are here. But what are 3 terms that define response class? You just said it.
function,
They have same
form,
function?
and arbitrary grouping.
Form, topography, and the arbitrary. Is that what the other one is? No.
Function.
Can you guys explain a little bit arbitrary? Like, I don't understand, like, the actual meaning of the word.
Does anybody want to elaborate on arbitrary? We can look at
I don't know if I can explain it correctly, but it has to do that they have the same effect on the environment. So, for instance, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to find an example of.
I have the book with me. I can read you what it says. I just don't understand.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
They give an example. It's arbitrary. They say it's walking, running, swimming, and jumping.
Right.
It's part of, they're all could be considered part of that response class, and they're not topographically or functionally equivalent. So they don't look the same, and their function is not the same, yet they're similar. And what they're saying is arbitrary. Is it like similar in the sense that they're all exercise? You're all
Yes.
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 Mhm.
Oh, okay.
But I still don't, you know what I mean? Like if I see 3 words randomly, I guess if it's not function and it's not form, then it's arbitrary. Is that what we're saying?
Yes. For instance, you know, with the function, for instance, somebody, if you're trying to get attention, you know, the function, the purpose of that person acting that way is determined by that function. So it may be they pull your hair, they slap you, they tap you on the shoulder. It has the same function. Form, that means they all look the same.
Yeah.
And arbitrary, yeah, it would be the the one that doesn't cover all the
If
other
it
ones.
doesn't fit in one sheet.
Yeah, mini is the mo. Yeah.
Does anybody else want to add on to this, to FK10?
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Yep. All right, let's move on to FK11. FK11, environment, stimulus, and stimulus. What is an environment?
I should know this one.
It's everything around the organism.
Yep.
It's dynamic universe of events that changes from moment to moment or instance to instance.
Okay. Everything except the living parts of an organism.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going to move on to what is a stimulus?
An energy change that affect the organisms.
Anybody have anything else?
Change in the environment.
It's everything, but the what is it that the moving parts of the organism.
Yeah, it's a change that affects an organism. So Minerva, yeah, she covered it. So it's just a change that affects it. And then what is a stimulus class?
It's sort of the same as the other class that we were talking about, that they all share similar function, topography.
Yeah, a group of behaviors that share common elements. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay,
A
so
group of stimulus.
Stimuli.
So the other one, yeah.
A group of antecedent stimuli that
Group
has
of
a
stimulus, yeah.
Okay, so it's a group of stimuli that have common elements formally, temporarily, and functionally. Just as you all said. Perfect. You guys got this. All right. FK12, stimulus equivalence. What is a stimulus equivalence? Or what is stimulus equivalence? I just want to know the general definition, not details. Just
what was stimulus that evokes the same response?
No, that's the process. That's the whole 3-step process.
Right. So what is that?
RST.
The functional equivalence?
You said it, Nadia. You said it. It's multiple stimuli becoming functionally equivalent and evoking the same response. So the main information here is that it has the same response. It's what you were saying, Yanni, about that they're all related.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I forgot the definition. So the definition is, can you say it?
Multiple stimuli becoming functionally equivalent and evoking the same response.
Okay.
Okay. What is an AKA for stimulus equivalent?
Oh, my favorite. The functional equivalence.
Okay.
Of course, we know that. Why would you ever?
It's right here.
We're
right
awesome at AKAs. What's going on?
That's my favorite subject.
All right. What are the 3 terms related to stimulus equivalence? Hint.
Symmetry, reflexivity, and transitivity.
Perfect.
You go, Minerva.
Of course.
Get it, girl.
I have my PowerPoint in front of me.
Hey, the more you see it, the better.
I don't know why. I have a feeling we're all cheating today.
Yeah.
I just love how she says transitivity. I love it. It's like very peppy. Like
Yeah.
I should remember.
We're just talking aloud or notes.
Yes.
Guys, the point of our meetings is to talk as much as we can about this, because at the end of the day, it eventually it'll stick. So
Open book.
Open book, honey.
Exam.
That's the best. All right. FK13, reflexive relation, USUR. What is reflexive relations?
I think what is describing or what?
Is that mirror?
Just what is it? That's it.
I don't know.
Is the stimulus or unconditional response?
It's
If
A
A
equals
equal to B, like matching. I can explain, but I don't know exact definition.
Go ahead.
Reflexive,
It's a mirror. It's
mirroring, kind of mirroring. Yeah.
right. The behavior matching identical stimuli under the
Mhm.
same. Yeah.
So it's just the relation of the unconditioned stimulus and the conditioned response, right?
Right.
Yeah.
The relationship between unconditioned stimuli and our natural response. Perfect. Exactly. All right. Is conditioning needed for these responses? Is this yes or no?
No.
Yes.
No.
no, it's
No,
unconditional.
it's a reflex. It's a reflex.
Oh,
So
yeah. So
you don't
that's
have to be
another one.
trained.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're right.
Unconditioned.
Unconditioned.
Okay. Perfect. What are some examples? Any examples, guys? Just throw them at me.
Puff of air blinking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
blinking
Thinking.
eyes.
Doctor
Blink.
hitting your knee.
You
What is
touch
it?
it.
What is the question though?
What are
Example
examples of
of what?
reflexive relations?
Oh, but we're talking about reflexive relations. Any examples?
Yeah,
Is
you
it-
touch hot surface, you move away. You move your hands right away.
Okay, so someone said blinking. That's a good one.
Mhm.
Okay, and you said about if something is what you move away. So what are we missing there?
If you touch hot surface,
So-
like, and then you move your hand right away
So-
because you touch the hot surface.
So what is the hot surface? What does it do to our body?
Heart, burn.
It burns. So it's heating our,
Yeah.
our fingers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so heat, pain, any tastes, like someone said blinking, those are natural responses. Okay. FK14, respondent conditioning. What is respondent conditioning?
Well, they would be,
It's-
but the same thing would be the
It's-
reaction of a.
Reflexive reaction, I think,
Mhm.
right? Respondent behavior.
When it's an unconditioned stimulus and a neutral stimulus pairing. So pairing both.
Oh.
And then what is an AKA for it, for respondent conditioning?
Classical conditioning.
That's one. I didn't think about that one. But the one I have is not that one.
The Pavlovian one?
Pavlovian. But
Pavlovian.
classical, I'm going to add classical.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm gonna add that to my notes too.
Pavlovian conditioning and classical conditioning. And what could be a practical everyday example of that?
When
And-
we're pairing with our kids, with pairing.
Using what?
Oh, the school bell will be a good one.
A bell. Very good.
I mean, the school bell. Yeah.
Right. A school bell is a good example. But okay, so Yenny is on a good track here because I want to see if she gets what I wrote. Yenny, you were saying about us pairing ourselves. What do we use a lot to pair with what we do in the field?
With reinforcers, non-reinforcers that work.
I was gonna say ice cream.
Reinforcer, that's your reinforcer. So if I wanna, let's say that Nadia doesn't like me. She hates me because, you know, I put her on the spot a lot. So I need to pair myself with Nadia. I know that ice cream is the reinforcer for her. So every time I see her, I have an ice cream with me, and then I go, here you go, Nadia, you want ice cream? So I start pairing myself with the reinforcer.
Chocolate might work better. But
that's good. Okay, so while I was writing this up, you know, obviously I took a lot of information from BAS, but because their examples are unique, I can't write their examples. So I was thinking about, you know, my own example working in the field. And one thing that I use a lot that I was like, wow, that's this, you know, what we're talking about is using a timer.
Yeah, to go potty or for break or break is over. Yeah.
We use a timer for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And we teach the kids, you know, when the timer beeps, your break is done. When the timer beeps, you know, it's always when the timer beeps. So we condition that working in the field with the kiddos. So that's exactly what it is. All right, so FK15, operant conditioning. What is operant conditioning?
It's a 3-term contingency, right?
Yeah, it depends on the consequence, on the history.
Yeah, learning from.
Does the learned behavior?
From the learning history.
Learning, that's one of the things I wrote. And history is another one. A history of what?
Of consequences.
Perfect.
Ontogenic.
That's exactly what I was looking for. The process where the future frequency determines the history of the consequences, usually plus or minus, you know, I mean, increasing or decreasing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How can we use a timer to also relate to operant conditioning? So the same example I gave before, how can we relate that to operant conditioning?
So the timer in the one before, you use the timer as the antecedent. That's why it's respondent conditioning. In this case, you would use the timer as a consequence if you want to make it operant conditioning. I just don't, I'll have to think about it more.
Yeah, so I was like, I didn't know what to write. I mean, you guys tell me if I'm right or wrong, but what I wrote was, so will the client stop using the reinforcer when the timer beeps or not? And through time, does it change the future frequency by either increasing the behavior or decreasing the behavior? So does the timer work? You know, if they learn that what they're getting after the timer beeps is a reinforcer, you know, things like that. So it's them learning their history with the timer. You know.
Maybe timer goes off and then the child can have a break. That could be right consequence.
Exactly. So them just knowing what's happening after the timer beeps, they learn that through time, and then either the behavior increases or decreases because of it. Right. All right. FK16, respondent operant interactions. What is respondent behavior? We're on FK16.
Respondent is a reflexive behavior.
Reflexive behavior. So
behavior elicited by an antecedent stimulus.
Okay. Yep. It's elicited by an antecedent. Perfect. Okay. So if we have this for respondent, what is operant? So it's exactly
consequence.
Elicited by a consequence.
Well, we were talking about
a consequence. Yeah.
Operant is a learned behavior.
Right, but look at the answer we have for the one above.
It's evoked because of the consequences.
Perfect. is emitted or evoked because of the organism history of consequences. Perfect. Okay. What is the difference between respondent and operant?
Well, operant is learned and respondent is not.
Mm-hmm. Ontogenic and phylogenic, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And exactly what you have on the top. So one is because of the history of the antecedent, and the other one is because of the history of the consequence.
Consequences.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
What happened here? Oh.
Or respondent is a SR and operand is a SRS.
Mm-hmm. So respondent involves an event that causes a reaction, and operant involves the environmental changes that occurs following a person's action. It's just in different wording, but it's the same thing you guys were saying. Okay. I want to play a game, but I don't know how much time I have left. Who can tell me? Yenny, do you know how I can find out how much time I have left?
You have 10 minutes, I think. More than 10 minutes.
Okay, we can try. We can try. Okay.
You saw it? Okay, good.
If I can do it in 10 minutes, that would be awesome. Okay. All right. So this game is called, wait, hold on. This game is called Jewels of Wisdom. Someone from the Bcba exam prep group shared the information for this game, and I tried it, and it's awesome. I don't know who it was. I don't remember, but it's great. I think all of you guys should download it because it's like playing Bejeweled.
Oh, I played that one when the person posted it. It's good.
Right. So if you guys haven't done that already, download it. It's great. So this is specifically on foundational knowledge. So if you guys want to read it and see what you guys can match.
Was this one made already, or did you make this one?
No, this one was made
Can we
already.
make it, or?
I don't know.
What do you download it from?
I just went online and I wrote
Cram?
no, I wrote Jewels of Wisdom, and I wrote ABA, Applied Behavior Analysis, and it came up, and it has lots of topics on ABA.
Daymi, if you have the link, do you mind sending it on WhatsApp, please?
Of course. Yes, I do.
Thanks, doll.
No problem.
Okay, environment, complex dynamic universe of event that differ from instance to instance.
Which one is it? Environment?
Environment, and you can go to the last row, top one, complex dynamic universe of event that differ from instance to instance.
On the very right, on the very right.
This one?
No,
On
next.
the very right.
Okay.
Very right, yes, this one, correct.
Nice job. I like the sounds.
Stimulus, okay, type of, what are the three type of stimulus classes? Formal, temporal, and functional. This one, another blue. Yeah, next.
It's just that I have to.
Rightmost, you can go first.
This one?
Oh, top one. Yeah, click that and, but,
Pavardi, you know your stuff.
oh, just trying.
Repertory is the last column, the last one.
Repertoire, last column, right here.
The very bottom one, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ooh.
Go for a response.
Response. Which one?
Response was, let me see, I'm using my phone today, so. It's a single instance of behavior, measurable unit of analysis in the science of behavior.
Is the third one, yeah, on that.
Awesome, guys.
My team woke up when he heard the
What are the three types of nervous system? Is the first column, the first one?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. What word?
The three types of nervous system. The
top orange.
that one
Mm-hmm.
is the first column, the first one.
Perceptive.
No, that one.
Perceptive.
Behavior.
Stimulus in the class can share common topography, common relative relationship, I believe. The next. Yeah, this one to stimulus class, maybe.
Well,
Yeah, stimuli in the class can share common topographic spatial arrangement. No,
This
oh
one.
my God, sorry.
it's okay.
Oh, we have to get behavior first.
You want behavior?
Oh, I know. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Where are you?
The other one, what are the 3 types of stimulus classes? FTF. That's the last one to your right, I guess. Yeah, that one.
Nice job.
And stimuli is the first one on the first row. Physical events that affect the behavior of an individual.
And then arbitrary stimulus class, like fruit, is the on the first column, the very bottom one.
This one?
Yeah.
Wow. You guys are on a roll.
Hard to read.
I think stimulus class is the top one, right?
Yeah, a group of behavior that have the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is right. Oh, this is not.
No, I think it locked it for some reason. I
A
don't know.
group of behavior that have the same function.
I think behavior is that first one, the largest sets or class of responses. I don't
This
know.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
class dogs.
Feature stimulus. It's the third one in the second row. Stimulus in the class share common topography, common relative relation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
I think response class is the second one to the other. Yeah.
No.
No, I meant the first one then.
Oh, that's okay. All right, let's get these two.
one.
Temporal locus.
Will that may occur prior to, during, or after behavior? That would be
This one,
During or
temporal
after.
locus.
That,
the last one.
Temporal locus is the one that says a stimuli may occur prior to, during, or after a behavior.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the one we were struggling with, remember? Yesterday?
yeah.
Find examples.
The first one.
This one?
Response consequence relationship. Man, that's hard to read.
Oh, this
Similar
one.
behaviors.
Response consequence relationship, similar behaviors that are strengthened or weakened.
Make them big if you.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys, we got 1,200. We only got 2 wrong. That's awesome. Nice job. All right, I want to show you guys really quick. If you guys go on your computers and you type on Google, I'm going to share it regardless, but Jewels of Wisdom, and you write applied behavior analysis on Google. Jewels of Wisdom, applied behavior analysis. You go here where it says pick a set. You click there and you can write, like I wrote foundational knowledge, but you can write whatever you guys are having trouble with. You press search, and then just on that, look everything that comes out. So if you were to write like positive reinforcement or like stimulus versus stimulus class, you know, any topic on ABA and just foundational knowledge, that's what comes out.
So it's already created?
Yeah, those are already created.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah, and it's pretty fun. The only thing is what you guys are saying, that on your phones you can hardly even see it. It's tiny.
Yeah, I think if you click on it, it makes it big.
Yeah.
So you can just make it big, read that one, and then pick from the words.
Oh, okay. I haven't tried it on my phone. I just tried it on the computer. All right.
So it was called Jewels of Wisdom?
Jewels of Wisdom, yeah. And I'm gonna share it on the chat. Okay, so it's the end. Thanks for joining. Tomorrow is Yanni's meeting, and next week we're gonna go over FK 25 through 48 because this section was so long we had to split it in half. So this week is 1 through 24, and next week is 25 through 48.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It was
awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you
problem.
so much.
Thank you, Daymi.
Thank you so much.
Guys, have a good night.
Thanks for making it
Good
fun
night.
again.
Yeah, no problem. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.